So I called 1-800-222-1222, the poison helpline.
A poison expert helped me figure out what to do next.
I was connected to someone who spoke Spanish.
They answered my questions.
It was free.
It was confidential.
It was real help in real time.
Keep the poison experts in your pocket. 1-800-222-1222.
Teachers are diverse, skilled leaders, innovating to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Teaching shapes lives. Are you ready? Explore teaching at teach.org, supported by the U.S. Department of Education and 1 million teachers of color.
The 2024 EcoFest Earth Day celebration is happening this Saturday, April 20th from 1 p.m. until 5 p.m. at the historic Belmont Mansion, 2000 Belmont Mansion Drive. The event will feature panel conversations on environmental justice, holistic healing, and environmental journalism. You will also engage in a variety of workshops, including the Philadelphia Flower Market, Black Farmers Demonstration, Soul Home Yoga, Black and Planted, and Alchemy Art with a demonstration on beautifying your recycling bin. There will be food, music by DJ G Flow, and much more. Be there Saturday, April 20th at Belmont Mansion for a celebration of Earth Day. Brought to you by Comcast, the Pennsylvania Lottery, Keystone First, Posigen, Philadelphia Water Department, Philadelphia Recycling, University City Science Center, and PICO. Celebrating Black excellence worldwide and bringing joy and power to the people. This is WURD 900 AM and 96.1 FM, Philadelphia. Streaming online on wordradio.com and the Word Radio app. The views and opinions expressed by the guests, listeners, and hosts of any program on Word Radio do not necessarily reflect those of the ownership, management, or advertisers of this station.
I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
All right, people, write something on the board. Let's spell it. First letter.
L. O. G.
What's that? What?
It's time. It's time to have real, honest, open, difficult, and inspiring conversations. It's time for Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello, family. Hello, and welcome to Love and Life with Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. Happy terrific Tuesday to you. I'll take that from Eric. I'll borrow it from Eric, I should say. Happy terrific Tuesday to you. How's your week shaping up? How's it coming along? I hope it's grand, actually. I really do. I mean, how can it not be, right? We're here. We have this beautiful weather. OMG. Family, if you are joining us by way of socials, please let us know. Check in, share a comment or a few just to let us know that you're here and you're hanging out with us. You can even give us a call. You know that you can. But for those of you who were unaware, guess what? We love the love any way you care to share it. And you can call us just to say hello if you want. You can do so by dialing 215-634-8065. You can even call us toll free. You can do that by dialing 1-866-361-0900. That's right. So while you all check in, I'm going to give you a moment to do so. I will share today's Black History 365 moment. Today's Black History 365 moment is about Vermont and the ban on slavery. Vermont was the first colony to ban slavery in 1777. Such an opportunity came on July 2nd, as a matter of fact, 1777, in response to abolitionists' calls across the colonies to end slavery, Vermont became the first colony to ban it outright. Not only did Vermont's legislature agree to abolish slavery entirely, it also moved to provide full voting rights for African American males. Family, that's today's Black History 365 moment. I don't know about you, but I'm grateful that we've been continuing our Black History 365 moments because you think you know some things. Well, I don't know anything clearly because I'm learning more and more and more. And I just love it. I love that. So thank you all for agreeing to continue our 365 Black History moment. I mean, why just celebrate in February? Come on now. We are phenomenal. We are phenomenal. Happy birthday to all of our love lights who are celebrating a birthday, sending celebratory love and hugs to each and every one of you. And I'm sending extra love and hugs on behalf of your entire tribe and village. If your light is shining the least bit dimly today, okay? If in any way, just know that you are not alone and that you've got support. You've got us right here. You know we are. And we're not going anywhere either. How about that? And so, family, I have some things to share with you, some reminders, if you will. The first of which is that the 2024 EcoFest Earth Day celebration is happening this Saturday, April 20th, from 1 p.m. until 5 p.m. at the historic Belmont Mansion, located at 2000 Belmont Drive. This special event features panel conversations on environmental justice, holistic healing, and environmental journalism. There will be a variety of workshops, including the Philadelphia Flower Market, a Black Farmers demonstration, Soul Home Yoga, Black and Planted, and Acme art, with a demonstration on beautifying your recycle bin. Oh, I like that. There will also be food and music by DJ G Flow. Plus, you know a whole lot more. You know how we do. You know what we do. Be there, family, on Saturday, April 20th at Belmont Mansion for a celebration of Earth Day, brought to you by Comcast, the Pennsylvania Lottery, Keystone First, Posigen, Philadelphia Water Department, Philadelphia Recycling, University City Science Center, and PICO. The second thing that I want to remind you about, you know it's coming. You want to hear from candidates for Pennsylvania's Attorney General live and in person? I know you do. Well, meet Word Radio at Enon Tabernacle Baptist Church on April 18th. We will broadcast live from 7 until 9 p.m. to hear from the candidates and their visions for this critical role. Moderated by our beloved Andrea Lawful Sanders, this event will help you make your decision before the April 23rd primary. Doors open at 6 p.m. Attend in person at Enon Tabernacle Baptist Church, located at 2800 West Cheltenham Avenue, or listen live on Word Radio. That's Thursday, April 18th at 7 p.m. Family, this is your word on democracy. Your vote matters. Our democracy matters. I see that some family members are checking in, and I love it. Brother Nasir. Okay, let me tell you something. Nasir Butler is checking in. Nasir and I, we communicated this weekend over the Berks Jazz Festival and still didn't connect. We've got to get our picture together. We've got to get our picture. Okay, Nasir. Brother Malcolm is checking in as well, Malcolm White, and he shares that he's watching and listening from West Mount Airy. Willie Matthew Williams is checking in. When are you coming back, Willie? When are you visiting? When are you coming back? He's checking in, sending love to everybody. Eric is checking in as well. And he shares that he hopes that everybody is feeling calmness, peace, and serenity today. I receive that, Eric. I do. Tell my allergies, though, but I receive it. Our love light, Miss Lily, is checking in, and she sends word. She sends love as well. She sends word. You hear me? She sends love to the entire family. Family, let's get started. I have a phenomenal family member for you to meet in this hour. I see, wait a minute. I see everybody's checking in. Hold on. Before we introduce her, I want to share that Aaron Dixon is checking in. Hey there, Aaron. And we have a family member on the phone lines. Welcome to the conversation, family. Thanks for joining us.
Cal.
Hey, Ron. How are you?
Yes, I want to give a little history. Before they did the civil rights song, they sung "We Shall Overcome." It was one before that. Even before the one they sing "Lift Every Voice and Sing," it was one before that.
Mm-hmm.
That song was your grandmother, your grandmother, and them was singing, not no slave song. I'm gonna stay on the battlefield, and I'm gonna stay on the battlefield till I die, but till we live. They would sing that song, then they would sing, I would trust in the Lord, coming out of struggle, not only the slave that are incarceration thing for our people. That song was significant. And because what that song did, give us hope for tomorrow. And when President L.B. Johnson, when he heard that song, "We Shall Overcome," he put his whole affirmative action thing based under that song of that affirmative action. So we go a long way back. And it's just it's music. What would the day be like without a song? The writer wrote the day will be very dark and dreary. The full corn wouldn't grow. All these things. I'm saying all these things about our history. Yes, we are unique people. It has been spiritual hymns. The spiritual hymns have played a significant part in our lives. And I just want to say I'll be ever grateful for this station. And I'll be ever grateful for your sensitivity, ma'am. I'm not talking foolishness. When I think how uplifting. I don't mean to sound repetitious either. If you just look at and you reflect back on your rotation, and Malcolm and you guys reflect back on the callers, anytime you got a show, and you do have that show, and it open up where the elders called in here asking you to pray for them. The elders called in here telling them about their physical condition. The elders called in here talking about they had nothing but motherware. What does that tell you about your program? They're listening. Somebody is listening. And because you are listening, Malcolm are listening, the rest of our of Love and Life is listening. Do you know the significance of this? This what we written for you. Malcolm and all you, and I don't know Cesar B. DeMille crap. This thing that y'all have played a significant part in somebody's life. And that's what it's all about. He that have an ear, let him hear. And these people listening, call these people, I'm talking about, they called in here, asking for these things from you, beloved. This will be your legacy. You're sung all over the world. But you took a little time out on this program and put love and life and listen at what the elders are saying and treating them with dignity. I'm not saying no one else did that. This is very touching to me. My cup do run it over. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to all of you, family. I mean it when I say I appreciate your continued support. Oh, family, let's get started. I'm so full. Thank you for that. I want to introduce you to an amazing woman I was sharing with you. Her name is Carolyn Sims Nesmith. Yes, she is the founder of CSN Productions, which is a multifaceted performing arts business. CSN's Productions facilitate a youth performing arts program for students interested in the performing arts. I think that's amazing, awesome, and wonderful. As you know, I love our babies, and I also love when we make time for them. So I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to invite you to the conversation with none other than our beloved, our love light, Carolyn Sims Nesmith. Hi there, beautiful.
Hi, how are you, Carol, today?
I am well, thank you. And you?
I am the same. I have to really get myself collected after that wonderful tribute this gentleman gave you. That was just touching, I must say.
It really was.
Yes, it was.
I am deeply moved. I am. I am. But we are going to talk about you in this hour, and we're going to. I thank you so much for recognizing. I don't in any way need to discount anything. So that's not what I'm doing. But I definitely want to. I want to spotlight you. I want to talk about all the good things that you are doing. I want to talk about how you're loving on our babies and what
Yes.
you're doing with and for them. And I know we don't have you for a very long time. So I will first ask you if you could tell us just a little about you, from where you come and all of that good stuff.
Well, I'm a Philadelphia native, and I come from a family who just sang and did all those things from childhood on up. Um, I worked at the Prince Music Theater as the director of their youth program, and also
Mm.
worked with some of the main productions there. And as a result, was able to put together, oh gosh, I'll say 50 or more kids, and work with thousands in the city of Philadelphia, because we had schools bused to our Prince Music Theater to see the things that the young people were doing, which were musicals based on their experiences and what really their concerns were. And they were received awards for the best musicals, and everybody was awarded for the work they put into it. It gave the young people a voice. So
Wow.
that's where I came from with that. And as a result of always working with young people through Freedom Choir Philadelphia, which is a historical group that sang for Nelson Mandela, through I worked with the House Sweet the Sound. We won first place at Calvary Baptist Church. Youth young people know the small choir unit, first place. And I've always been involved in the arts in some way or another. Wrote plays, presented them all over the place. I was always there. So this person here said, after, we stopped getting a lot of money for the arts. Remember that time things just dried up almost completely.
Oh, I
So
do.
it was a really rough time. And so it was time for me to find out what else could I do in this life. So I said, this little chocolate girl cannot be downtown learning anything about now. It just wasn't my time, if you know what I mean for that. So I said, well, what am I going to do with myself? And so finally I said, okay. I talked to a friend of mine. I said, you need to start your own thing. I said, he must be out of his mind. That's what you think. When you think of something like that, well, how am I going to do that? And as a result, to cut a long story short, we started CSM Productions. Let's call that step down on faith, because that was nowhere in my purview. Nowhere.
I love
And
it.
so that's how we got started. And I think, as I shared with you, this is about 12 years ago. And you, my dear lady, was the one lady came and gave me a fundraiser by just giving me a concert, because you believed in the vision of working in the community, in the arts, and with young people. And it was so when he started talking about that, it made another connection. Okay, I'll stop.
I don't remember.
I know you don't, because you were just a little thing. You were just a little young thing, and I was a young thing trying to find out where we were supposed to go and what we were supposed to do. And I said, I'll never forget that. I'm bringing it up to you, and one day you're going to look back. Oh
my gosh. Again, like, when you praise God, because I do love our babies, and I always have.
So that's what we do. And we're having this coming Saturday, April 20th, a meet and greet for our program that's coming this summer. And the program dates are July 8th through August 16th. Our young people meet at 3510 Scotts Lane. That's the CSM Production Studio. They are trained by professionals in the business, some of whom you know. Shirley Wilson Butler is joining us this year with the vocal piece.
Yes.
We have a Dr. Ricky Kennebrew, who is an educator. This man is a singer, a digital creator, and a filmmaker, an actor. And he is just phenomenal. He said, to work in this program, you just got to put that PhD aside and work with the children, because this is how this program works. I'm getting excited, Carol. Can you tell? Listen.
Yeah, I'm excited with you.
Okay, you have to forgive me. Listen, when we get the children ages 6 to 14, they come to us. The first thing we ask them is, what's on your mind? And when you do that, they're like, what's on our mind? Nobody cares about what's on our mind. They're not broached in that way. And so I said, well, okay, what concerns you? What interests you? And we make sure that they know that they're in a safe place. We have what's called circle time. And when they come in the building, circle time starts exactly at 9 o'clock. If you are late, you sit in the hall. Why? First lesson, always be on time. If you're serious about the thing, you're going to be on time.
Mhm.
Parents say, oh, because Carolyn, you got us jumping out the bed. The kids are screaming. We got to get in this. That's wonderful. They know what it means to be on time.
And they should. They should. My grandmother would say, if you're on time, you're late. You should be early.
Early,
That's
right?
what my grandmother would
That's
always
it.
say. If you're
So
supposed to be there at 2 and you arrive at 2, you are
Come
late.
on. That's it. So that's lesson number one. But in this circle, we begin to let them express themselves, and this is their safe space. One of the questions we may ask is, what are you grateful for today? And they think about that. And you'd be surprised to some of the responses. Somebody hadn't seen their cousin in years, and that summer the cousin came over, and that they said, we're so glad to see them. It's okay. Some of the kids say something, I'm glad I have a mom that really cares about me. You should hear what's on their minds. So
I would sit there and cry. I would tell you that.
I'm sure. You get there. You get there.
Yeah, that's so. I'm going to just take a pause for one moment. I'm sorry to have interjected, but family, hi, hello, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. You're tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. We are talking with one of our love lights, Carolyn Sims Nesmith, and we are talking about all the wonderful things that she is doing for our babies. It's time for us to take a commercial break. Know that the phone lines are still open, and feel free to continue commenting on our socials. We'll be right back.
Want the latest in word swag? Check out the shop tab on wordradio.com. Hoodies, tees, and more in a variety of colors. It's the shop tab on wordradio.com. You can look good and show the world that you're all about Black Talk Media.
The Pennsylvania Lottery's $160 million cash blowout scratch-off will have you ready to step up your A game. A little birdie told me you could have a chance to win top prizes of $3 million. Pick up the Pennsylvania Lottery's $160 million cash blowout scratch-off for the ultimate hole-in-one. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Problem gambling? Helpline 1-800-GAMBLER.
You're a storyteller, negotiator, artist, innovator. Whatever your passion, whatever your skills, behind the scenes or in front, you belong here. A career in broadcast media. Local radio and TV stations in every town and city need someone like you. So do what you love and bring your talent to life. Your passion, your skills, your career. You belong here. Learn more at youbelonghere.media.
Hi, this is Chick Corea, and did you know that April is Jazz Appreciation Month? It's what we have as Americans to export as a freedom of expression. I think it really supports our Declaration of Independence. It's freedom to create what you like and freedom to think. This is what I like to get behind. So since it's Jazz Appreciation Month, go to a jazz club, put on a record, listen to some Coltrane, listen to some Miles, some Louis Armstrong, Duke Ellington. We have such a great heritage here. Just enjoy it. This is jazz. It's made in America.
The 2024 EcoFest Earth Day celebration is happening this Saturday, April 20th from 1 p.m. until 5 p.m. at the historic Belmont Mansion, 2000 Belmont Mansion Drive. The event will feature panel conversations on environmental justice, holistic healing, and environmental journalism. You will also engage in a variety of workshops, including the Philadelphia Flower Market, Black Farmers Demonstration, Soul Home Yoga, Black and Planted, and Alchemy Art with a demonstration on beautifying your recycling bin. There will be food, music by DJ G Flow, and much more. Be there Saturday, April 20th at Belmont Mansion for a celebration of Earth Day. Brought to you by Comcast, the Pennsylvania Lottery, Keystone First, Posigen, Philadelphia Water Department, Philadelphia Recycling, University City Science Center, and PICO.
It's too black, which means it's too strong.
We're celebrating Black influence and Black excellence worldwide on the home of progressive Black talk media, WURD. You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, progressive Black talk media.
And we are back. Welcome back, family. Welcome back to Love and Life with Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. We are talking, as I shared before the break, with one of our love lights, Carolyn Sims Nesmith. And she's been sharing with us about her summer program, an upcoming program for our babies. I love it. I love it. Carolyn, I know, like I said, that we don't have you for, very long. So I want to find out from you, and in the event some of our family members are interested, are you still accepting applications for the camp, or what is the process for attendees?
All right, here it is. Register now. I will give you, it's $25 registration. The registration fee can be paid on our webpage by going directly to csmproductions.com. You will be led to the youth page and you can register there. Also, you can, any questions, info@csmproductions.com. On Saturday, April the 20th, from 12 to 1, we're going 12 to 2, excuse me. We're going to be registering. Not only will we be registering, we will let people know what to expect. They'll meet our instructors. Antoinette Coward Gilmore will be our choreographer from Dance for Mia. She's been with me for years. I love her.
I love her.
Okay. And our director of the program is Richard Murray. The kids get their own theme, write their own music under the direction of our musical director, get it professionally produced. They perform live 2 times before they go into a main stage at the end of the program and do an original program, their theme, their music, their script. That's what we're going to do with these young people. Also, just make sure to call 484-222-0418 if you plan to come, because we plan to feed you. Now, don't come expecting a full dinner. Now, we're going to have refreshments for you, and we want to make sure that you are comfortable while you're there learning about who we are, what we do, and meeting some of the instructors. That number again is 484-222-0418. We're looking forward to receiving you all, and we're excited about what's to come.
I want to make sure I understand you correctly. So if anyone is interested in attending on April 20th, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. To call 484-222-0418.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I wanted to make sure we provide our family members with that information. Listen, when I tell you I love our babies, and you told me Antoinette's going to be there too.
Oh, sure.
First of all, listen, everybody that you mentioned, I know to be just a phenomenal human being and extraordinarily talented. So I know the kids are going to have an amazing, amazing time. So one last question for you. Sure, what is it that you're hoping that our babies take away from attending the camp?
How to navigate the world stage. It's not just the arts. They learn conflict resolution. They have to work in teams. They learn how to solve problems that they undertake, because we'll have them set goals and see if they can make steps to attain those goals. They learn how to communicate. We had an autistic child that didn't look in anyone's face to talk. We treated him just like everyone else. He went back to school after our program. The teachers called his mother in to find out, where did you have him over the summer? He's talking to us. He's talking to the students. We don't treat them any differently. I don't think it should be. So those are some of the things we do.
That's therapy. That is therapy. I can identify, I can relate, because having had similar experiences with some of our babies, because I work with babies as well, but some of them just need an outlet. They just need some place in which to feel comfortable. And it feels so good to know that you are providing that. If you could tell us one more time the name, the website itself, and if you could repeat the telephone number to call if anyone is attending on April 20th.
Our website is csmproductions.com, and our program again, our meet and greet is on April this 20th. Time is
April
flying,
20th.
April 20th. And it's going to be from 12 o'clock until 2. And we are looking forward to you calling us at 484-222-0418 so that we can make sure we have enough refreshments for you and have enough materials for you. We look forward to seeing everyone who has a child between the ages of 6 to 14 and want a unique type of an experience that will help them grow. Come on out. Come on
And I
out.
want to make,
35
oh, I'm so
sorry.
sorry. I want to make sure that I am sharing the correct information as well. So do not call for the camp. You can go to the website for the camp.
You can go to the website if you're not able to come to the meet and greet, or you can come to the meet and greet.
Okay. Okay. And the date for the camp.
The date for the camp. The dates are July 8th through August the 16th. They meet all day from 9 to 3.
And where will they meet? What is the location?
They will be at Citizen Productions. That's at 3510 Scotts Lane and Studio 3015A.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Our family members are commenting. I love it. Gary Bryant is checking in. Hi there, Gary. So happy to have you. Eric is sharing good evening, Carolyn Sims Nesmith. A big welcome to the Word family. I was raised as a Catholic, but growing up, I always had a passion for choir and gospel music. People such as the Winans, Mahalia Jackson, Aretha Franklin, and Leontine Price. Oh, just to name a few. Who were your musical inspirations growing up? That's a great question.
Well, you already said them. Okay. Whoa, yes.
All of those.
Yes, and I mean Mahalia Jackson. I say her now because she was a pioneer. You know, she worked out of Chicago, and she had a lot of things to overcome because gospel music was not looked upon as real music, and she really opened doors for a lot of people. And I like the way she was singing "How I Got," she was really great. I love the fact that people like the Hawkins came with contemporary gospel, and they came with a beautiful "Oh Happy Day," and they came in "What Is This?" I mean, if you know gospel, you know that one. That one is something to behold. So yes, choirs, individuals, I loved it all. I was exposed to it all as a child. Yes.
I love it. You and me both. Keith Harris is sharing Go Word. So he's excited about what you're sharing as well. I love Lightness Lily shares major kudos to Sister Nesmith for caring for our children. And she follows what city? In Philadelphia. Right in Philadelphia. This will be in Philadelphia. Norm. Hey there, Norm. Thanks for joining us. Norm McGowan, that is. He shares, good evening, everyone. I hope you all had an awesome day. Thank you for another great show. And thank you for caring about the kids. I love that. I love that. And Chester, I see your message. Hi there, Chester. Chester Skinner is joining us. Thank you. You know, let me tell y'all, I don't know how to respond when y'all talk to me about my performances. I don't know what to say, but I am so grateful. Just know that it touches me. I am truly grateful. I really, really am. So know that. Twana, hi there, Twana. Twana Thomas has a question. She asks, is the meet and greet free?
Yes, it is, my dear Tawana. The meet and greet is free. And we are just, look, we do games. We expose the parents to some of the things the kids will be doing to break them out of their mode. They participate as well. And the last meet and greet we had in March was like roundtable discussion. We talked about what's going on with the kids today. We had such a deep interaction with the parents there. It was amazing. It was amazing.
I love that.
So some of that, after our presentation, and we talk about why we do what we do, it opens the door to other kinds of discussions. And it was just phenomenal.
So it's not too late. You can come to the meet and greet. There's still room to accommodate. And thank you, Twana. Thank you so much for that question, because that eluded me. It eluded me. It skipped my brain. So thank you so much for that, because I'm sure some other family members wanted to know as well. Family, we have our love light, Carolyn Sims Nesmith, with us for just a few more moments because she has to go. So if you have any questions, if you have any comments, feel free to share them now. You know, you can do so by calling. You can absolutely call us at 215-634-8065, or you can call toll free at 1-866-361-0900. While you have her here, and you can ask her yourself. Eric follows up with the conversation you two are having about the music. Troubles of the World by Mahalia.
Oh,
my goodness.
This, yes.
I mean, hands down. Hands down.
Right.
Hands down.
Oh.
First of all, anything Mahalia. Anything.
Come on.
Anything.
Mm-hmm.
You hear me? Anything. She could hum. She doesn't even have to say a word, and I'm there.
Carol, she could just grunt, and we're done.
What? I could not. Let me tell you something. I just don't know. She was just so anointed that I just don't know what would have happened. I know I would have had an out of body experience if I had ever been in her presence. I know I would have.
I'm sorry.
Ronnie Casanova shares beautiful, just beautiful. But I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Just one quick thing. I want to also let everyone know we never know what our theme is going to be from year to year. It's up to the students. Just want to share with you how deep they got it. Yeah, it's up to them. So someone said, "What's your theme this year?" I don't know. We didn't ask them what they thought about. We didn't ask them what's on their mind. We did not discuss it. And whatever that is, that's the theme of each summer.
I love that. So that really makes it more involved. It's more interactive. So it really comes from them.
The last year, just to show you how deep they got, it was called Disconnect from the Drama and Reconnect to Love. Okay. That was what they did last year. That was
disconnect from the drama and reconnect
to love.
And it was about,
it was about gun violence, but gun violence in a different way. It's about two families. I got to do this quickly. Two families, and one other family was accused of shooting and killing a boy from the other family. They used to be close. And what happened was he was falsely accused. But besides that, they looked at what is the impact of gun violence within families. That's what they took a look at. That's what they took a look at. And it was really, I cannot describe it to you. Anyone who came to see it was really blessed and touched by it. Antoinette just lost her mind with the choreography.
Antoinette is anointed.
Okay. You know she is, right?
No, I know. We were in a play for about almost 20 years together. Carols in Color. I cannot dance, family. Before you say you dance, no, I wish I could. That is not my ministry. But I was the voice of the Virgin Mother in the play. And she danced. So I got to see her. I got to experience her. About. Yes. So one of our family members is asking for the numbers to be repeated for the April 20th meet and greet. So if you wouldn't mind, please repeat.
I surely would not mind at all. The number is 484-222-0418. 484-222-0418.
Okay. And also, a question that just came to me. So you were sharing about the location. Is there free parking?
Oh, I'm glad you said that. Yes, free parking. When you get to Scotts Lane, you'll come down this little street and you'll say, and you turn right. There's this big open space. It used to be warehouses and things of that nature in there.
It's a lovely area.
Developed. Yeah. It's self-contained, safe, big parking lot. And so it's free. The parking is free.
Okay. Parking is free. Family, you heard it for yourselves. Oh, wait, I see that we have another family member. Twana shares, the musical theater camp for youth sounds wonderful. Is there free parking? Thank you, Twana. Thank you. You know what? Thank you, Twana. Thank you. Thank you so much. So we have parking. We have the meet and greet that is taking place on April 20th. We have the camp that will take place from July 8th through August 16th, ages 6 through 14. If you are interested in attending the free meet and greet this Saturday, April 20th, which will take place from noon until 2. The number to call is 484-222-0418. Because our Love Light shares that she does want to give you a little nosh, a little nibble. So she needs to know if you're coming, okay? Which is important. That's very important. And there is a $25 fee for the camp. That's so nominal.
It's a registration fee. Now, the camp does cost, but what we do, I'll give you the total price of the camp is $720 for 6 weeks, which is less than $25 per day. And so what we do, we break the costs up and we do the 2 payments of 3, payments of 2. However, we try to work with the parents so they can make it available to their children. And the reason why we do that is the normal cost for something like this is in the thousands, but we want to make it so that our children can come and benefit from something like this and work with these top artists and learn and grow, so they can go out there and show the world what they're all about. And inadvertently, they're showing the world what we're all about.
How about that? And we're listen, you're saving lives. You're saving lives because our babies have something to do there, and they're learning a skill set as well, and skills, communication skills, so much. Thank you so much, Carolyn.
Thank you for having me.
I hope we didn't keep you too long.
No,
we just love that you came. We appreciate you for coming. Please come back and visit with us.
I just have to, Carol. I'm not going to run away so much. I mean, I was so busy and our paths are different. And I said, I should have been talking to her.
But you know what? Everything in time is in God's time.
There it is.
It's in God's time. And I so love it. I love it. I'm happy to have been reconnected with you.
Yes.
Happy to be a part of it. And I didn't even realize I was.
Yes.
So, thank you.
You helped make this possible, Carol.
No.
You are part of all of that.
Yeah, oh my goodness, that's God. That's nobody.
Yes, it is.
So
yes,
thank you. Thank you.
Now, don't be surprised if I call you to come and talk to those children. Now, you know I reach out to everyone.
You listen. I'll make sure you get my number. Well, you know where to get it. I'm not hard to find. Okay. Family, OMG, it's time for us to take a commercial break. We're saying goodnight to our love light, Carolyn Sims Nesmith. If you need additional information about any of the things that she shared tonight, ask me and I will repeat it all for you. Thank you so much. Stay with us, family, because we will be right back.
Word Radio Digital Tip of the Month with Stephanie Humphrey is brought to you by Comcast.
Learning something new is challenging at any age, but learning about technology can be especially challenging for seniors. Cyber Seniors is an organization that enlists volunteers to help senior citizens learn all about tech. There are daily webinars on cybersecurity, social media, or just tech basics. And there are even exercise webinars too. Every week, Cyber Seniors hosts a tech drop-in where you can hop on the webinar and ask any tech question you have. And if you need more help, you can schedule a one-on-one call with a volunteer. There are so many benefits of the internet and technology, like staying connected with family and friends, communicating with your doctors, shopping, and a lot more. And now you don't have to be left out just because you're a little older. Visit www.cyberseniors.org to check out all they have to offer. Stay tuned to WURD for more tips and stay connected with us at wordradio.com.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Can I touch this? Where does sand come from? Is this tree good for climbing? What happens if I mix these two things together? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Storing your guns securely is the best way to prevent family fire, including unintentional shootings. For more information on safe gun storage and ways to keep your family safe, visit endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org.
What do we keep in the attic? What's this thing called? Can I ride my bike backwards?
Like I said, kids are curious. It's up to us to keep them safe. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
We're celebrating Black influence and Black excellence worldwide on the home of progressive Black talk media, WURD.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. So I don't know about you, but that conversation we just had with our love light, Carolyn Sims Nesmith, was so uplifting to me. It was just felt like just felt good. It just felt good. You see, I can't even get my words together. But it always makes me feel good when we talk with our family members that are doing something good and positive for our babies. Y'all know, I tell y'all all the time how much I love our babies. And this summer program sounds wonderful. It really does. And again, for anyone who is interested in the information, don't hesitate to ask if you missed it or if you want it repeated. I have no problem repeating the information so that you can find out additional info. I did put the website on our socials so that you can go there to find additional information if need be. If you have an interest in doing so. So I know today is Tuesday. In our second hour, what we always do, what we've become accustomed to doing these days, is talking with Chris Murray, getting our sports update because, you know, he's our oracle. Well, until we talk with Chris, I want to talk with you. I want to find out what's going on with you. And I have a question. I want to know. So we talk about everything here. As you know, we talk about everything from soup to nuts, as they would say. I want to know what topics you want to discuss. I want to know if there's something that we have not discussed that you want to talk about again, that you want to talk about, or if there's something that we have talked about that you want to talk about again. I want to know. I want to know what you think and how you feel. You can put it in the chat, or you can call Nick and tell him. You don't even have to leave your name. You don't have to do that at all. I just want to know what you're thinking, how you're feeling, and, you know, what we can talk about. Because I believe communication is key. You know, I tell you that all the time. I believe communication is key. And there may be some subject matter that we've not yet discussed that could be beneficial to us all. How about that? Because, you know, I don't know everything. If you want to call, you can do so by dialing 215-634-8065. You can also call toll free at 1-866-361-0900. Also, you can put it in the comment section. Let me know. What I will do, I see some of our family members are checking in. Yolanda Bonitez, hey there, love light. She's saying hello to everybody. Miss Lily, I missed that question while Carolyn was visiting with us. Miss Lily asks if there's a GoFundMe or another organization where they can donate, but I will find out for you. I will find out for you all the answer to that question. That's a good question. See that? You all truly do help me, because although I do have questions of my own, there's some things that I just miss sometimes. So I appreciate you. Hey there, love bug. Heather Wilson is joining us as well. She sends a hello to the entire Word family as well, and we receive it. So Heather, Miss Lily, Yolanda, Twana, Ronnie, everybody, Norm, Malcolm, Nasir, what would you like to talk about? Is there a topic that we've not yet discussed? There was 2 questions. Is there a topic that we've not yet discussed that you want to talk about, or even hear about, some information even? Or is there a topic that we have discussed that you want to talk about again? I want to know. Let me know. Nick, I'm bringing you into the conversation, you know, as I do from time to time. First of all, hello. How are you, Nick?
Hey, Carol, I'm doing all right. What
You're
yourself?
good. I will not complain. I will do no such thing. I won't complain. I'm enjoying life. So, Nick, we talk about a lot of things here. As you know, we talk about everything, quite honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that we've talked about that you would like us to repeat? Is there anything that we haven't talked about that you thought, you know what? I wonder when we're going to get to that.
Oh, man. Let me see. Something that we either have already talked about or haven't already talked about. That's kind of difficult.
It's difficult, you think? Well, I'll tell you because so someone said to me today, which prompted me to ask the family, the rest of the family, because someone asked me today about Chat GPT.
Right.
They wanted to have a you know, deep in-depth conversation about Chat GPT. Is that something of interest? One of our family members, well, it is to this one family member, so I'm curious to know. Do you want to know more about it? I know nothing about Chat GPT. Do you, Nick?
I don't know too much more than anybody else, but I'm certainly not afraid of it. I have probably just one person that I know who actively uses it or did use
Oh.
it in college. And even then, they were saying how basic it was, and I mean how it's good for certain things, but if you expect it to write an entire paper for you, and then you hand in that paper and you get like an A or something, that's just not going to happen. Like it's good, but it's not great. And there's going to be people out there who try and like utilize it for that, and that's fine. But it does need a certain amount of human touch.
Yeah, well, see, the other part of that for me is that I like using my brain. I love knowledge. I love to learn, and I like I don't want to I don't want to lose the skills that I do have, you know. I don't want to become dependent on AI. You know, I know that, you know, it fits into so many other parts of our lives, but I don't want to become dependent on using Chat GPT to speak for me, to write for me in any way. I want to, you know, if I don't know how to speak well already, then I want to learn how to do so. I want to learn to do it better. You know?
Yeah, I understand that, and I think that you have to kind of pick and choose where you should use it. I
Mhm.
think students using it, that's fine if your work involves a lot of writing, whether it's creative writing or whatever.
Mhm.
Again, that could be a good jumping off point. It still needs a human touch, but I know that there's people out there who've tried to use it for relationships, which is not
Oh.
a good idea. It says you can get results from it, but it can only take you
No.
so far. Believe it or
You
not, there's people who can't tell that they're talking to a robot, or they're talking not a robot, they're talking to
Mm.
an AI.
Artificial intelligence.
An artificial
You've
intelligence,
got to
yeah.
be kidding me.
Because I mean,
No.
think about it, all the something like Chat GPT or another program like that, all it does is sit there and consume what we put out there. And
It
and so if it's going to sound pretty lifelike, and you
Wh-
kind of have to be cognizant of that. But some people, especially some people in relationships, they don't necessarily pay attention that much. They go, oh wow, this person's very they're very responsive to what I'm saying, or this or that, and they don't
Oh
quite
no.
notice. they don't
That is
they don't notice.
horrible. And you know
But
what that's making me think? So I
what?
don't know if you remember this because I read an article. Well, I shared an article that I read that Google is developing a component to act as a therapist,
Mhm.
an AI therapist. So, as a matter of fact, they're predicting that that's one of the professions that will be done away with. They're trying to do away with therapists. They're trying to make it so that we rely on a computer, on artificial intelligence to help us problem solve in our relationships, in our everyday life, to write for us, to think for us. I just can't. I just can't. I see, family, that you are commenting, and Heather shares she heard something today. She would like to talk more about how much savings a person should have, especially in this day with prices for mortgages, rent, groceries, gas. Thank you. I'm going to put a check in that. Thank you. All right. And hi there. I love light, Miss Rosalind. She's sending our flowers to us so we can smell them while we're still here. You know I received that. You know we do. We send them right back to you. And Miss Lily shares that we need to revisit how to be a good parent. Oh, I love that. We need to revisit how females can be more loving, caring, compassionate, encouraging, and empathetic. We need to release the spirit of jealousy, envy, hate, colorism, inferiority, and superiority. Oh, Miss Lily, yes. Okay, I'm putting a pin in there. Definitely. Gary is sharing. He's commenting on the conversation we're having, Nick. He's not really too fond of all this artificial intelligence. Use the brain. The computer that God gave us. Gary, I am so with you. I love, like Miss Rosalind adds, it's so sad that people don't know how to use a pencil and paper, or their brains to acknowledge the definition of how to be a human being. It's horrible. It is. And Miss Lily shares, OMG, an AI therapist. Wow. No, really. I read this months ago that Google has already developed the program. They're perfecting it now. That's what they called it, perfecting it. So there's a component of it that they're already using now. They're in a beta testing phase of it, using AI as a therapist. I'm telling you, family, listen, when I tell you we need to keep our eyes open and our ears open, because it is happening all around us. Tony Brown is saying, hey, Tony, missed you. It's been a while. Family, listen, it's Tuesday. We have our Oracle waiting to join the conversation. He's got all the sports we need and want. So we're going to take a short commercial break, but we're coming right back to talk with Chris Murray. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
It's the WURD Hot 60. Hot 60. Here's the hottest 60 seconds you missed this week on The Source.
Council member Kendra Brooks serves as an at-large minority leader in the Philadelphia City Council. Where did the whole idea of the Working Families Party come from, and how did you get involved in it?
Kind of fell into it. A lot of my organizing organizations that I was a part of here in Philadelphia are also connected to the movement around Working Families Party that was in New York, and the Acorn movement around organizing. So they actually approached me. They said they were looking for someone to run for public office that was authentically who they are. And I was like, that's me, but I'm having no interest in politics. I'm happy with community organizing, traveling around the country, teaching restorative justice, and making sure families like mine, or families not so like mine, have the same opportunities that, other folks have.
And that's the hottest 60 seconds this week on The Source on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
In your journey back to work, we understand the barriers you may face. We have a solution to bridge that gap. No matter your background, PA CareerLink staff are here to provide personalized assistance and help you thrive. Take the first step towards a new chapter in your career journey with PA CareerLink. Visit pacareerlink.pa.gov or your local PA CareerLink office today. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Only 1 in 5 people with disabilities, including those with autism, are employed, despite many having the skill set and desire to work.
Maybe it's because employers don't know what kind of jobs they can do?
Okay, try me.
What about a programmer?
That is a job for someone with autism.
What about a teacher?
That is a job for someone with autism.
Oh, how about a healthcare worker?
Yes, those are all jobs for someone with autism. The truth is, qualified people with autism can do a lot of different jobs, but often get overlooked due to outdated stigmas and beliefs. Businesses value diversity, but sometimes don't recognize the unique strengths and abilities of the autism community. Introducing WIN, the Workplace Inclusion Now program by Autism Speaks. We help businesses lead the way in inclusive hiring.
Ooh, what about a ranch hand?
Yeah! Sure, that's a job for someone with autism too. To learn more, go to autismspeaks.org/win. That's autismspeaks.org/win.
Hey Philly, it's your favorite church girl, Kayla J. And I have a question for you. Do you know who your state senator is? Better yet, do you know what legislative district you're in? Did you know that there are 7 out of 50 senators representing Philadelphians in Harrisburg right now? The state Senate is responsible for creating state laws, policies, and the budget. It's these people that control the minimum wage, protect women's reproductive rights, controls probation, and they created the plastic bag ban. The They're elected every 2 years of a 4-year term, and this year they're on the ballot. Currently, Pennsylvania State Senate is made up of 22 Democrats and 28 Republicans. To find more 2024 election information, go to wordradio.com/2024vote. This is your word on democracy. Your vote matters. Our democracy matters. This public service announcement is brought to you by AARP.
We are the home of progressive Black Talk Media. This is WURD 900 AM and 96.1 FM, Philadelphia. Streaming online on wordradio.com and the Word Radio app.
Let me tell you something, and don't you ever forget it. Success is nothing without someone you love to share it with.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Welcome back, family. You are tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. Welcome to the top of the second hour of Love and Life right here. You know what that means. It's Tuesday and it's the second hour. I'm going to have to get some audio so we can play. Like, we got to get Chris a theme song or something like that for him to come into the room. In any event, for those of you who are unaware, on Tuesdays in the second hour, we talk with our oracle of the sports world and arena. He is none other than our beloved Chris Murray. Before I bring Chris into the room, though, I do want to say that over the commercial break, I saw that our love light, Miss Rosalind, is in the hospital today. She's not doing well. She's not feeling well. I'm sorry. She's not feeling well. So I'm going to ask if everyone can send some healing energy and some healing prayers her way. Let her know that her tribe and her village has got her. We're praying for you to get out of this. She's in the emergency room and she's trying to get home. So we're sending some healing energy and prayers your way. Okay? All right. So family, once again, none other than the man, the myth, the legend, Chris Murray himself. Hey, Chris, wait. You're muted. Wait. You're still muted. There you are.
Okay. No, I was gonna suggest blow the whistle. Yeah, that, blow the whistle.
I will have that for you next week. I will have that for you next week. You know what? Don't you play with me.
I mean, that's about as a perfect theme as any and whatnot, But anyway, I'm still, like I said, we were at the Brown shop right yesterday. I had a great time yesterday. I gotta tell you, everybody showed up. I sold a few copies of my book and everything, including one of our listeners. And I saw it was just Eric. Is that
yes.
his name, Eric?
Here he is. Look at this. He shares, hey, Chris, I just wanted to say you and your beautiful wife and the entire WURD staff are really amazing. To see you in person in your element made me feel so proud and privileged. Thank you. You are most definitely a scholar and a gentleman. Thank you so much for signing my book. It was a pleasure meeting you. So this was at Jackie Robinson Day, right?
Yeah, it was Jackie Robinson Day. We were commemorating the 77th anniversary, or as I like to say, 70, the anniversary of Jackie Robinson's, entry into Major League Baseball, and it's an important milestone, not only in sports but in terms of the civil rights movement, because Jackie was like that first soldier, was the one who kind of went in because, man, they came at him with everything to keep him out, to get him angry. And like Dr. King would years afterward, they had to learn to have that discipline and not to react back in the face of the violence that they were receiving. And Jackie was a great ball player. They named the Rookie of the Year award after him because he was the Rookie of the Year in 1947. And he brought in a lot of great black ball players. So we talked about that, the legacy of the Negro Leagues. And we were talking about the fact that there's only 6% of baseball, black African-American born or black U.S. born players playing baseball. And that we were trying to deal with the idea that, why do black people consider baseball boring? Why do black people don't watch the game? Because, if back during the times of the Negro Leagues and everything, people watched the games a lot. And black baseball was as big as NBA All-Star Weekend, that's happening right now. Back in the 30s and 40s, people went to baseball, the East-West All-Star game, like you would go to Black Homecoming, at the colleges. People would just kind of come out, they show out, they were dressed to the nines, wore their Sunday best, as we used to say. They wore all their stylish clothing, all the fedoras, all the hats, and all that other stuff. And they came out, and now black people today consider baseball boring. And they will tell you folks will tell, I'm like, well, why is baseball? I never got that memo from anybody, because to me, all World Series games, I used to, nail biters and come on, all the times I'm like, oh God, you guys score a run this inning, we need one. And something like that. To me, the game has never been boring, and especially playoff baseball, because when you watch playoff baseball, you're expecting, you're hanging on every pitch, every hit. You come on, you hope the hit gets in, and you can start a rally, especially if you're losing. Oh God, you got 1,000 deaths. So, and then we talked about black kids don't play. We talked about the economic aspect of it, that, it's hard for, I owned about 2 or 3 baseball gloves, and they were in the 70s, they were relatively inexpensive. Now, now you pay like maybe $60 to $100 for a really good baseball glove. And you're really spending a lot of, you got to spend money for bats, cleats and all kinds of equipment and whatnot in order to play the game. Although,
I'm sorry. Wait, you said how much? How much for a baseball glove?
Anywhere from $60 to $100, and that might be at the lower end. Some of them are $200 and $300, and and so it's a lot of money. So we're being priced out. Although one of my guests told me the fact that they also put out money for certain basketball leagues too, 3 or 4 football equipment. They put out the same amount, and yet black people are still playing football. I just think from a cultural standpoint, from a purely cultural standpoint, we have somehow got away from it. We got away from playing baseball for some reason, and mainly because from a professional standpoint, football and basketball. Football, after 4 years of college, you're a superstar, you get drafted, you go right into the pros. NBA, you can go to the pros coming out of high school. So, you can come into the sport. Baseball requires that if you're drafted out of high school, even out of college, you're coming in at either what we call A ball, which is the lowest, or double A ball, which is the second. Then triple A is that one step before the minor leagues. Although now teams are pulling kids out of the major league teams are pulling kids out of the double A ball level. But like, for example, the Phillies have a black prospect in their system named Justin Crawford, and he's actually doing well. But he's playing. He was there. He was a number 17th pick in the 2022 draft, and they have basically, he's in their system in A ball, and there's a lower level A ball and a higher level, and he's playing well. So if he keeps on playing well this year, then he may go to double A. If he gets really good, he may have a chance to make the team. But there's some things he has to work on at that level in order for him to kind of get there. So from that standpoint, it's that that sort of level of baseball might be hard in the sense that it's hard to get up there to move up to play baseball like that. It's hard to move up because there's a lot of ledge. You're still a professional and they're paying you, but the thing is, it's like to be a star right away, it takes about 3, 4, 5 years and whatnot from the time they draft you. It makes you have to get there. So it's and we were talking with some of the a public league coach about how to get kids involved. Little League, are there enough Little League teams? I've talked to the guy Steve Bandura from the he's like the manager of the Anderson Monarchs, one of the few mostly black Little League teams in the city. So it's a lot. We talked about those things in relationship to to the anniversary of Jackie Robinson, wanting to play baseball. So Jackie Robinson playing or breaking the color barrier. So we talked about, we celebrate, but there's some issues to deal with. And then, I kind of, in my own personal editorial to this, was saying that, I was wondering where are all the young people, because while it's great that we celebrate, our young people really don't know. And I'm a witness to this because I am an educator and I witnessed this. I don't think young people really understand the history, and on some level, I don't even know if they care about that. And the thing about it, I was just saying to black parents, look, that is something, and I don't, sometimes I know it's like my mother lives in Northwest Baltimore and she lives in a heavily Jewish community. There are all kinds of centers that they deal with their history and culture. And I don't know. I mean, I think we have those things in our communities and in some cases at our churches, but we don't do nearly enough. I don't know if it's the family, definitely not the school system, to talk about the importance of Black history, unless you take people out on Black History Month or King celebration. And a lot of times from my participation in various organizations, the kids really don't want to hear about it. I mean, they have to, but it's almost like we're not ingraining that study of ourselves in our classroom. And that's something, that's a pet peeve with me. And I say it because of the years I've taught undergraduate students, and I'm not going to sing out any school or anything like that or anybody. I'm just saying I see it not just at where I teach, but I see it all over the country, and I see it just about everywhere.
I had no idea. I've never thought to ask you what are some of your pet peeves as it pertains to the sports world, but I didn't know that was one that was so that meant so much to you. Right.
I just want people to know their history, whether it's sports, whether it's history of R&B music and all that other stuff, or I want people to understand that, and I think young people have to understand. I think it has to come from the homes, because one of the things that a lot of professors complain about at every level is that our Black kids are coming out of school not knowing these things, and a lot of stuff I just wish they would teach in the elementary schools and all that. But really, it's up to the parents. Parents have to understand and teach. Even if it's sports. I mean, even have that kind of approach to sports and everything, to understand and help the kids understand that not everybody's going to go pro. You're going to be going pro in something else other than sports, and it's a lot. But these are some things. Maybe I agree. Maybe I don't have kids. Let me say that, because a lot of people are like, you don't have kids, but I do have a sense of what of what I'm seeing, and I do know what I'm seeing. And we're living in an era where people, I hear it all the time here in Philly that a lot of kids struggle with reading and reading comprehension and whatnot.
No, you have no idea. You have no idea. I had a baby who was in the 7th grade, and it was a new class. I was coming into the class, and I was trying to get to know and identify each student. So I was calling out I was doing a roll call, and I couldn't pronounce one of the young ladies' names clearly. So I'd asked her to come up. So she knew she knew her name by me saying it. So I asked her if the spelling was correct of her name, and I asked her if she could sound it out for me, so that I could say her name properly and correctly.
Right.
And she looked at the paper, and then she looked at me, and I said, right, I'm showing her right here. And she said, is that an S? Is that, she wasn't aware, she was not able to spell her own name.
Wow.
And that broke my heart. It broke my heart. And then I had another class. I was subbing for another class, and there was I was saying to the students, I said, okay, I said, we all have the same book, so why don't we open it? Why don't you all read a little? Someone read something to me. And one of the little boys in the class, he raised his hand, and he said, Miss Carol, we've never opened these books. I said, excuse me? He said, we don't know how to read these books. This is 7th grade. So I said, well, why do you have them? He said, no, our teacher always plays the audio book. So they did not know how to read. I kid you not. And when the teacher came back in, the teacher resumed the audio book. The little boy, the student told me that they have never opened that book. So this is what's happening with our babies. I'm telling you, when I talk to you all about our kids, they need so much. They need so much help. They need so much help, and they need the right help, because there's some teachers out here too who, they're just dealing with a lot as well. I don't want to in any way steer too far away from the conversation, or to
but
to
the
shed
whole,
too much of a negative light. But
but the whole thing with the sport, I mean, we had a former Negro League player, guy named Sierra and whatnot, and Pedro Sierra, and he talked about the last days of the Negro Leagues, and he talked about because he says that a lot of the black ball players who played in the Negro Leagues came down. He's from Cuba, and they came down to those countries and played baseball. And like I said, baseball. The history of baseball, history of black baseball is fascinating, because I touched a little bit about Ruth Foster wanting to. And Ruth Foster is one of the founders of the Negro Leagues, is the founder of the Negro Leagues in the 1920s. And one of the things he wanted to do was to not only get black players to play in the sport as players, he wanted some of the people who owned those franchises to be absorbed by either the American or the National League. He was thinking, money, the money part about it. He was ahead of his time. And unfortunately, he kind of, it was a situation where he kind of passed. He was in an asylum, because I think that I think what happened to a lot of black people who were brilliant, I mean, and in those days, like Ruth Foster, and it messes with your psyche, that you're as brilliant as anybody, and yet at the end of the day, they're not letting you in because of the color of your skin, even though you know just as much, and they know because a lot of people went to Ruth Foster, and they borrowed all his little techniques and stuff that he did in baseball, in Negro League baseball. So that is a reality. And then with sports, one of the things that I try to talk about in my book was talking about, whether or not, we talk about athletes and empowerment. And we want to, talk about the idea of athletes having their own power. But, black people have always struggled to get to that point, because one of the things that I made mention of during the course of the show yesterday, because I was talking about the fact that Branch Rickey and all those guys, while they were getting Jackie Robinson and those guys to play ball, that they didn't like compensate any of those Negro League teams, mainly because and Branch Rickey said this, that some of those guys some of those guys were numbers runners and whatnot. No different than a lot of owners who probably participate in bootlegging and Major League Baseball, but and then too, they had verbal contracts with players, and they felt no obligation whatsoever, because we were talking about the demise of the Negro Leagues, and they felt that they were getting all this great black talent for cheap and whatnot, and they didn't compensate. And basically, the Negro Leagues kind of like a lot of black, and it was one of the leading black businesses in the country. And so that's a part of the situation with the Negro League. We talked to the daughter of one of the Negro League players who played for the Philadelphia Stars, Dr. Maylene Duckett Lee. And we talked to her about, her father and understanding how they were passionate about passing their history on. And they weren't necessarily bitter about, not being those guys to go on to Major League Baseball, because they felt like they set the foundation, and the Negro Leagues did set the foundation for Jackie Robinson. If it wasn't the Negro Leagues, Jackie Robinson they might have picked someone else, to play that game, but they picked Jackie to do it, and at the end, I still like the fact that all of Major League Baseball celebrates it. I just wish that people have an appreciation for the sport, that the sport is not boring and all that. It's just that baseball has these moments where a lot of things are going on. You can kind of talk in between. Is he going to throw a fastball? If he throws a fastball, the hitter's thinking, I got about point something seconds to swing at that ball. I mean, there's a lot of nuance in the game that a lot of people don't understand.
Sure, absolutely. Chris, we're going to take a break. It's time for us to take just a short break. Family, stay with us because we are coming right back.
The 2024 EcoFest Earth Day celebration is happening this Saturday, April 20th from 1 p.m. until 5 p.m. at the historic Belmont Mansion, 2000 Belmont Mansion Drive. The event will feature panel conversations on environmental justice, holistic healing, and environmental journalism. You will also engage in a variety of workshops, including the Philadelphia Flower Market, Black Farmers Demonstration, Soul Home Yoga, Black and Planted, and Alchemy Art with a demonstration on beautifying your recycling bin. There will be food, music by DJ G Flow, and much more. Be there Saturday, April 20th at Belmont Mansion for a celebration of Earth Day. Brought to you by Comcast, the Pennsylvania Lottery, Keystone First, Posigen, Philadelphia Water Department, Philadelphia Recycling, University City Science Center, and PICO.
Are you wet shaving? You'll get razor bumps.
Nah, Pops, I'm good with Gillette Skin Guard. How long you been growing that beard Mama hates anyway?
Since 77. I shaved and got ingrown so bad.
That's why I use the Gillette Skin Guard razor, face scrub, shave gel, and moisturizer. So I don't have to worry about new razor bumps or shaving irritation.
Gillette Skin Guard, huh? Your mama's gonna love this one.
The best a man can get keeps getting better with Gillette Skin Guard. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Summers in New Jersey were made to wow you. From sun and wows to fun and wows, chillin' wows to thrillin' wows. So come see what your wow's gonna be. New Jersey, it's one summer wow after another after another. Find your wow at visitnj.org. New Jersey, little state, lot of wow.
Tune in to Eco Word Magazine, hosted by POC, the first Friday at 10 a.m. for the PA Lottery Eco Word Fact of the Month. Brought to you by PA Lottery, benefiting older Pennsylvanians every day.
Long nose, what's the word, boy? What's the word? What's the word?
WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what love is.
Hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. We are talking with our sports oracle, none other than Chris Murray, in this hour. Chris was sharing with us about the Jackie Robinson Day event that I'm so sorry I missed. I know, I'm sorry. But he was sharing with us about the Jackie Robinson Day event that took place yesterday. And Joey Dixon, who was checking in and is sending one love and jazz to everybody, shares great show yesterday, Chris. Well done. Well done.
Thank you so much, man. I'm so humbled by that. I really am. I really am. So,
Chris, I want to pivot for one moment. Well, no, I'm so sorry because I am not in any way discounting your accolades because I speak your praises all the time.
No problem. No problem. No,
But
I'm not pivoting. Go ahead.
I'm curious to know, since we just had the WNBA draft, I read two things. Of course, the results of the draft and that Caitlin Clark is the number one. She was the number one pick. But I read an article today about the salaries for the female. Did you see that?
I saw a tweet by Russell Wilson, and he basically said because Caitlin Clark got paid 4 years. Now I got to verify that, but I just saw it because I don't like to go by with Twitter.
Right,
$388,000 for 4 years. That for what she did in college, I mean, she deserves a little bigger than that. And I don't care. I don't care what anybody says about that because that's it. We talked about that last week. I think that she deserves, as does Angel Reese. I think they deserve a big. They both played well in college, and you should get a good rookie salary. But but that's the thing. People are saying that the WNBA doesn't generate the kind of revenue. Here's what I think about that. Part of that is the fact that I wonder if it's just the sexism that we deal with in this society, that there are a lot of guys who just don't think that women should be playing sports, who don't like to watch women play sports because they think, well, the men are more athletic, and whatever, and that's not true. I think athleticism comes in different ways, but I just think that if they can pump people playing poker or video games and all that, certainly we can get into women's sports. I wish this city we were talking about this the other day, that I wish Philadelphia had a WNBA team, because I think people in this town will come out.
Well, I was just about to stare because I read an article. Well, two things to that. First, I want to go to the phone lines because we have a family member waiting to join the conversation. But I want to go back to what you were just sharing with us. So James is waiting on line one to join the conversation. Hey there, James. Welcome to the conversation.
What's up, James?
What's going on? What's going on, Kyle, Chris?
Not much.
As far as rewind, I'm still looking for buying number 9.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah. The fear is the WNBA will be bigger than the NBA. That's you forgive me if I'm right or wrong. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you might be right. I don't know. I would like to see it become big as. If it becomes bigger, then
I would love it also. I would love it, man.
Would you like to see a franchise in Philly?
Most definitely.
Well,
most definitely. We need that. We need that. Especially if they get downtown. I mean, that's big,
Yeah. I hope they don't build that stadium downtown, because it would be a mess down there.
It would be a big mess.
It would be a big mess.
Well,
I
we
agree with
would
that.
have to regulate. No nonsense. None of that dumb stuff coming down here. As far as representing us.
Right.
I love you all.
Love you more, James. We do. To that point, what I was about to say is that, two things. First, when we were talking about the salaries of the women in the WNBA. There was a comment someone made saying that, well, the draw isn't that big. Not that many people come out to watch the WNBA games. So they were saying that their salaries are comparable to, the number of people that come to see the games. They shouldn't get more money because there aren't that many people in the stands. And the other comment that I have is about this article that I read today. Philadelphia is in the running for a WNBA franchise. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert said the WNBA will once again pay for charter flights for the entire playoffs. It reads, the league spent $4 million on charters in 2023 and will do the same this year. And she shared, no one wants charters more than I do for these players. We need to be in the right financial position. She shared this just before the draft pick on Monday. She shares, just a few years ago, we were surviving. Now we're going from survive to thrive. We want to do it at the appropriate time, though. That's what she shared.
I hope that they do it because there's some interesting numbers that the women's Final Four drew 18 million viewers, 4 million more than the men. And they are, and it's an interesting time in this sport because I think it's going to help college ball. It remains to be seen whether or not it helps the pros. Maybe you need more teams or something like that. But I think people, if they're going to have Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese going at each other, and then we forgot about the young lady from Camila Cardoza and all that from South Carolina, who's now a teammate with Angel Reese in Chicago. That's going to be an interesting situation there. But you hope that the WNBA can kind of take its cues from the colleges and grow this game and everything. Grow the game, hype up the rivalries because now you have Diana Taurasi and Breonna Stewart and all the people telling Caitlin Clark, you're not going to be driving down a lane like you did in college. But a lot of pro players tell you that when they got rookies coming in, Magic was coming in. They're like, nah, you ain't gonna do all that. And Magic ended up doing it anyway. And that's the thing that when you think about that, you hope that they would do that they would just build on because pretty much. And because I remember in the 70s, both college basketball, men's level, and pro basketball, were kind of at that. I mean, college basketball might have been slightly better, but it's a funny thing. After Magic and Bird came into the league, March Madness became fun, and the NBA got better. And and maybe we are envisioning that we should envision that for the WNBA. I would love to see Philadelphia get a team. Yeah. And they will probably ask Dawn Staley to coach, although I think Dawn Staley likes what she has down in South Carolina. She likes where she is. I think her mom is from there and whatnot. And that's the kind of thing where she has family. I know she has family down there, but the thing is that it would be fun to see, it could be a male coach or a female coach coaching the team here, but it would be fun to see a team, a WNBA team in this town. And people, like I said, if you ask me to cover it, I'm going to watch it more, and I'm going to be down there. I'm going to do the feature stories and all that. I don't mind. Like I said, I covered women's college basketball when Dawn Staley was at Temple, and when she was the most successful coach amongst the Big Five teams in terms of women's basketball. So, she had some good players, and it was hard I think it might have been hard for her to recruit to get the kind of, players that she's getting now at South Carolina. But still, she did a good job. And the thing, I wrote a piece in the Philadelphia Sunday Sun about that, and to think that she did not want to coach at first. She got talked into it. And, and she said that, look, I wanted, I didn't really want to do it, but when she finally did it, she kind of figured out that's her calling.
You just said something that's interesting. You said you thought it was hard for her to recruit the players that she wanted. Why do you think that was?
Well, it's where Temple is located. It's in North Philly, and it's kind of located. I mean, I think Temple's a great place in terms of it's a great urban university, and I like Temple. I love the campus, and but for some reason I don't know. And a lot of kids who are from here want to go other places, and then to the Atlantic 10 Conference that Temple was. Temple now is in the American Athletic Conference. I don't know if they get the kind of blue chip players. I mean, you got the Coach Richardson down there who is doing a good job. I mean, women had a winning season this year, and they fell short of going to the NCAA tournament, but they had a really decent year. So, I think she has some. I don't know what their recruiting situation was, but I think she wanted to get access to the more and to play in the SEC and to coach in the SEC against LSU, Tennessee when Pat Summitt was there or was in the last parts of her time, because Tennessee is a perennial power in women's basketball. And I think that the high visibility of the Southeastern Conference is, the reason why, that she can get those national players. And she got some good players. The players that she had, she developed them, which is why when she took a bunch of players that had like maybe 3 or 4 freshmen, and then you had the young lady, I hate to use the term girl, but the young lady, Camila Cardosa and Raven Johnson, she took those players, a team mostly of inexperienced players who never played with each other, and they went unbeaten. That's a tremendous feat. But you would hope that at the WNBA level, that we get a team here, because I think people will come out and support it. And I think that maybe they had to do certain things, but hopefully if you can build a winning team, here in Philadelphia, I think the people in Philadelphia would support it. Although I will say, though, and this is where maybe there's a drawback. I do think that there's an element in Philadelphia, I guess it's that sort of, there's that sort of, people, WIP crowd. I don't know if they would get into the idea of women's basketball, because those stations, those other stations, they hardly talk about women's sports unless there's controversy. And we can talk about on this program, my program, we talked about women's sports, and I always try to find, and the one thing that I do on my show is to find women who are in sports, who are journalists, to be on the show. And of course, they would call, "Oh man, you're just trying to be politically correct and DEI." But there are a lot of women who know their stuff too. We got to expand those airwaves and everything to the young ladies. Or like I said, there are people like my friend Renee Washington, who's a really good sports writer, sports journalist. My friend Kelsey Nicole Nelson down in DC, who I've had on my show from time to time. We need more men and women, and we need men to talk about women's college basketball. We need men to cover the sport as much as women cover it. It's like we have women who cover football and who can talk intelligently about football and whatnot. Then we need to do. I don't know, and given the political climate of the country, we gotta just give people a shot. There are a lot of good people. Give women's basketball a chance. And you can't look at it like the men. I look at the storyline. Look at how well they play fundamentally and whatnot.
Look at what you just said, though. The numbers speak for themselves. So there is interest. You just shared it, especially with the statistic that you just shared. There's definitely interest. Definitely. Family, hey there. Sending a hello and a welcome to you if you've just joined us. But you are tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. We are talking with our beloved Chris Murray in this hour because it's Tuesday. That's what we do in this hour nowadays. Right now, we're talking about, well, we talk about sports, all things sports on Tuesday. And we're going to go to a short commercial break in just a moment. But here I go with my questions. I know that's what you're saying because you know it's coming. I'm curious to know from you, those of you who are listening and watching, do you tune in to the WNBA? Do you watch the Women's Sports League? Do you have an interest? I just want to know. I'm just taking temperature. I just want to know. Do you and well, it's a two-parter. If you say no, did you become interested because of the rival they were putting before us, in the playoffs? Did you like develop an interest simply because of the rivalry that was, plastered? It just, that was put in front of our faces. So I'm curious to know. Let us know. You can call us. You can always call us. But you can also continue to comment on our socials. I want to know. Have you always been interested in women's basketball? Are you interested? Do you care? Could you care not even less? In any event, let us know while we go to commercial break. Stay with us because we're coming right back.
In your journey back to work, we understand the barriers you may face. We have a solution to bridge that gap. No matter your background, PA CareerLink staff are here to provide personalized assistance and help you thrive. Take the first step towards a new chapter in your career journey with PA CareerLink. Visit pacareerlink.pa.gov or your local PA CareerLink office today. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
At YMCA Summer Camp, kids find their why. Friendship and fun, a world of adventure beneath a golden sun. Running, laughing, full of wonder, being themselves is second nature. Summer camp is where they begin to unlock the confidence that lies within. When kids find new passions, they find their why. Summer camp season starts soon. Learn more at ymca.org for a better us.
Stand with Word Radio as we continue to provide dynamic, progressive programming to inform and empower our people. We're living in unprecedented times, and we must stand together to protect and preserve Black Talk Media. Become a Forward member with the annual membership price of just $90 or a digital member starting at just $5 per month. If you're already a Forward member, sign up, family member, or a friend to help us continue making history. Start or renew your Forward membership today. Visit wordradio.com/forward or wordradio.com/membership.
It's too black, which means it's too strong.
We're celebrating Black influence and Black excellence worldwide on the home of progressive Black Talk Media, WURD. You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Welcome back, family. You are tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. We are talking with our sports oracle, Chris Murray, in this hour because that's what we do on Tuesdays. We've been talking about all things sports. But before the commercial break, I was asking a question of you. I'm curious to know, Nick, I'm coming to you as I frequently do. But family, I want to know, so do you have an interest in the WNBA? I'm curious, just really curious. I just really want to know. Or, is it of no interest at all? Do you just prefer, the NBA? Like what? The men's league? Like what? Let me know. I want to know. So Nick, first of all, do you watch basketball? Are you a basketball fan? Nick said, I have tuned out. Nick, Nick, are you with us? He said, I've tuned out. I don't know. I'm tuned out. Actually, so Malcolm shares, honestly, I haven't checked out a WNBA game at all, but I have checked out a few college games. Eric shares, with all the new controversies surrounding women's basketball, I recently did tune in to check out their skills just out of curiosity, and it is entertaining. That's interesting. Eric is adding to the prior conversation he shares. I actually have a few baseball all-time greats collectible cards. Mike Schmidt, Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle, and one black player, Maury Wills. He shares he wish he owned a Jackie Robinson card.
Maury Wills was a heck of a base stealer. I gotta say, he was a heck of a player.
I've not heard of him. I'm not familiar.
Yeah, he played with the Dodgers in the 60s. And he was one of the best base stealers in baseball at one point. Really fast and everything. And he was just one of those great players that came out of the 60s. Him and Lou Brock were among the best, base stealers in the National League. So, Brock eventually became one of the all-time greats, but that's, but man, Maury Wills is a great player.
I see. Well, and I'm unfamiliar. Right. That's great. You know what? I want to go back to you WNBA. Shared with us that you. No, we're going to go back to the WNBA, but you shared that you sold some of your books. Are we going to have a book signing, Chris?
I'm working on that. Is in the works. That is in the works because I got a nice response, and Denise was out there. Denise was out there selling books and all that, and she was once hawking the books and all that, and people bought copies, So, and I just want to thank everybody that was out there that just supported the whole show, and we had people who I think never really listened to. I'm thinking there were people who never heard my show, but I was just talking about a lot of things. I enjoyed that yesterday. It made me feel good about a lot of things because I'm at that part of the semester. I'm tired teaching. I'm tired. I'm like, oh man, but it was a boost to me yesterday just to be there in my element and be in Philadelphia. Philadelphia is a hard nut to crack in terms of liking it at first, but once you get into it, people love you here and whatnot. People love you here. I mean, like I always tell the story of being at church, and an old lady came up to me, and I want something to turn old lady, but an elderly woman came up to me and said, "Are you that Chris Murray that's on with Bill Anderson in the morning?" And I said, "Yeah." It says, "I really like," and because I was shocked. Sometimes when you move into a city that's that's not maybe where you were raised. And you're writing, and you're a newspaper guy, you're writing on TV occasionally or radio, it's hard to know if people really notice what you're doing. And so when I saw that, I was so happy to hear that, from the people in this town. And,
we love you.
I know.
We do. Wait. Malcolm is laughing at you. He said, "A senior, Chris." He is laughing.
I am a senior citizen. I mean, but the thing is, the weird part about I don't feel old. I just, I got energy. I don't.
You don't? I thought you said you do. I was going to say
No, I don't. I don't feel old in the classic sense. Now, I ain't going out there and trying to play nobody no one-on-one basketball either. And I can't. And the last time I tried to play touch football, in my 50s and whatnot, my wife Denise was not happy with me because I came home with a pulled hammy and whatnot. So she wasn't, and that effectively ended my weekend warrior days.
I bet it did.
Yeah, which is why I should probably get PlayStation to get all that play out of me and whatnot. I'd do something like that.
One of my kids asked me today what game. He said, Miss Carol, what games do you play? And I said, oh, I play tag. I was like, because they were, he said, no, Miss Carol, what video games do you play? I said, oh, I haven't a clue. He said, well, it's okay. It's okay. I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you. So here you are talking about your video games. I don't know anything about those video games. I do want to share because I'm looking at the time. One of our love lights, Joanne Dormond, she's checking in. She's sending peace and blessings to everybody. And I'm seeing your message. Dolores Davis, another love light. She shares greetings all. And she asks, is there parking at the Belmont Mansion for the event? That's a good question. I don't know. I believe, and I'm thinking of the space. I'm imagining that there is, but it's probably limited. Yeah, and probably limited. And our love light, Miss Lily, is cracking up at you, talking about Weekend Warrior. She said, I love it. I love it. Okay. Eric shares, what should happen now is we get the NBA and the WNBA together for a spectacular charity event of some sort. Now, that would be better than Tyson and Paul. Tyson and Paul is not even on our radar. That fella. We stopped talking about Tyson and Paul.
I'm not. To me, that is just. I'm sorry. I am not talking about that as an event, as a thing. When I talk about analyzing boxing, because it's just, that might as well be WWE. Why don't they just have a fake WWE wrestling? Have somebody jump off the turnbuckle. 1, 2, 3, it's all over. Nobody gets hurt and all that. But
I have no interest in the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. I keep forgetting the man's name, and I know it. I have no interest in that. Just no interest in it whatsoever. Another love light shares, Linda Shields, that is, shares, hey, Chris, I enjoyed yesterday's program special on baseball, the Jackie Robinson event, but I forgot about your book. So please bring some on Saturday if you come. I want to buy a couple copies. I love that.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's
Mhm.
fine. What's going on Saturday?
Saturday's event. So see that on Saturday there's the Eco Fest Earth Day celebration.
Oh, I keep forgetting all about that. But see that, like, this is my week. I'm solely focused on, I got papers I got to grade. I'm going over rough drafts for essays and stuff, and then I come home. And then, because and last week was crazy because I wrote two articles last week for the Sunday. One was for the Sunday Sun, and one was for NABJ Black News and Views. And the woman who was the editor there at NABJ News and Views called me it was like when O.J. Simpson died. I wrote a piece, and I want you to, and I'll send you the link to that article.
Please.
Because OJ, excuse me, it was about, the article was about, I have mixed emotions about OJ Simpson because in the 70s, he was a great player, but, it was like the Black community embraced him. And, but the thing about it, he was a guy who never hung out with Black folk, never was in the community, and probably strayed more away from the community. And I basically said it was just hard. You have to look at everything in that when he was, because my only lasting image of OJ was Howard University law students when they read the verdict. Yay! And there was something that it was something that kind of bothered me about that, but I understood it. Because Black people have been, let's face it, when white people have been, have killed us, they have never had to be held accountable or go to jail for the most part. I mean, now it's kind of different now, but for a long time, in cases like that, Black people were always on the short end of the stick, and Black people supported OJ because of that. Not that they necessarily embraced OJ, because you never saw OJ at the cookout. And I'm saying that metaphorically.
Malcolm shares that he
metaphorically.
heard that OJ was instructed to stay away from our community. Look at me, I'm getting carried away with this conversation. I didn't even notice the time. Family,
Man,
here we are. I know it goes
I
by so
apologize for that.
fast. No, what are you talking about? It goes by so quickly because we enjoy the conversation. But please, next week, will you bring the article? Can we share it next week?
Yeah.
You know.
I'll send you a link. Well, I got to get some additional contact information anyway. But
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna share the link to it and everything,
Okay.
and just to talk about that because that was,
Well,
and
Chris,
got a lot of positive response. I mean, I was shocked at that, but
we've got like 1 minute left. I'm going to say goodnight to everybody. I know. Family. You already know. Just praising God from whom all blessings flow. I'm going to ask you to pray for someone who does not yet know God. Pray for your loved ones. Pray for your enemies. Pray for all of those who are in need. Thank you for sharing your time, your energy, your attention, your spirit, your space. Thank you to our guests for doing the same. Special thanks to the entire WURD family, especially Niall and Nick. Nick did get back to me, though. He said he barely watches the NBA.
Happy birthday, Niall. I didn't say that.
Yes. Oh my God. The top of the show. What's wrong with me? Happy birthday once again to all of our love lights, and especially to Niall. Family, we're all in this together, so be good to you, but be good to those around you. I love you, but God loves you so much more. Have a great rest of your night. Be sure to join me Monday through Thursday, 7 till 9 p.m. Well, Monday through Wednesday this week for another edition of Love and Life right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. Have a good night. Love you.